Hi guys, this is an interesting view. I know, I'm sorry. I am doing my Colourpop palette ranking today. I chose to do my Colourpop collection first because it is the largest part of my eyeshadow palette collection. So that is what we are doing today. We are ranking. I only included the 9 pans and above, so no quads, nothing smaller than that. And I have 31 palettes that we are ranking today, so follow along. I hope you enjoy this. Also, I have to state, there is a reason that you're not seeing my face, and there's a reason that I have a lisp, and they are the same reason. So I have veneers, and one of my teeth fell out the other night. So for now, to avoid doing a voiceover, this is what I'm doing. Okay, starting off with palette number 31. This is the Disney Designer Collection, and it's called It's a Princess Thing. It makes me very sad because I just find this so boring. I really only keep it because it is a Disney palette and I am Disney obsessed, but that is why it is number 31. Okay, number 30 is Golden State of Mind. It is an all shimmer palette, and again, there's something about it that I just find boring, and you can't use it on its own. You need another palette, like a companion palette with it. So that is why it is number 30. Okay, number 29, this is the Cherry Crush palette. I find that the name and the packaging are misleading because it is way more pink than red. I am not a red lover in general, so I don't really reach for this, but then when I open it, I always remember that it's actually more pink, so I should probably use it more often, but I just find that it's misleading. There's only like a little bit of red in here. The rest is all pink and like purple. So, number 29. Number 28 is Plush Like Me. It is super neutral. I do find it to be a little boring to me. It is pretty, but like I said, neutral. I have only used this one time, so I should definitely give it another chance. But, yep, that is number 28. Number 27, this is Clear the Air. It's a cute little peachy neutral 9 pan. I don't reach for it that much because I don't really reach for 9 pans all that much, especially neutral ones. It is really good for traveling, and I do love that there is a Super Shock in the center. So yes, number 27. All right, this one is number 26, Clearly in Love, which is the companion to the Clear the Air. I just love the Super Shock in the center here. Again, these are really good for traveling. I just don't reach for them that often. Okay, number 25 is Off Melrose. This is a little bit more exciting of a neutral palette, but it still bores me for some reason. If you could tell, neutral's not really my thing, but it is still fun as far as a neutral palette goes. All right, number 24 is So Very Lovely. It is neutral with some pops of color. I think that's probably why it's higher than a few others, but it's not any higher because I'm so sad that I lost this shade. I literally did it, not live, but on a TikTok as I was recording. It literally just fell out as soon as I opened the palette, which was super sad, and it got all over the place. So this one is pretty, but it's not any higher because of that. All right, number 23 is the Malibu Barbie palette. This was just used during one of my TikTok series of using new palettes. This is probably the lowest ranked colorful palette that I have in this series, or in this ranking video. For some strange reason, this was just not inspiring to me. I felt really like I struggled to come up with looks because I did 5 looks with it. And I just feel like I could have done better, and I like just did not find the inspiration from this palette. So that is why this is ranked so low as far as a colorful palette. All right, we got the Main Squeeze palette. Again, I am not really a red person, but I feel like this is very clearly supposed to be inspired by watermelon, and I do not feel like there's any like watermelon-y, like true watermelon-y colors. Like I feel like they missed the mark on the watermelon inspiration here. Like, why is there a gold and like a bronzy pink? Like, I don't understand. So just not my favorite. All right, number 21 is the Rudolph palette. I'm actually not sure why I didn't rank this higher. It is a neutral palette, but it has some pops of like Christmassy colors, but you could definitely use this all year round. Like, it's not very specific to Christmas. I absolutely love this palette, so I'm actually shocked I didn't rank it higher. Anyway, number 21. Okay, number 20 is the East High palette. I bought this strictly for nostalgia purposes because I was a huge High School Musical fan. I really only used this one time, so I definitely need to use it again. I did hear from some creators that the quality wasn't up to snuff, so I definitely need to try it out again, but it's rated this high because I love High School Musical. All right, number 19 is the Misunderstood palette, the Disney Villains palette. For me, the shimmer to matte ratio is a little off. There's like too many shimmers in here, not enough mattes. I do like the color story though. I've only used it a few times, so I definitely need to revisit this one. All right, this is number 18. It's the Sweet as Can Be palette. I literally bought the entire Winnie the Pooh collection because my dog's name is Winnie. So I absolutely had to have it. I do love the color story. It's super springy to me, so I really want to use it this spring. I did hear from some creators that this wasn't the same Colourpop quality, like good quality. It was not as good, so I haven't used it enough to know that. I've only used it one time, so I'm gonna try this one out again, but I had to rank it this high because of Winnie the Pooh. It's Winnie. Okay, this is number 17. It is Just My Luck. I am a huge green lover, and it bothers me to no end that there's a brown in here. I don't know why. It's just that like all the other ones I feel like are totally monochromatic, and I feel like there being a brown in here doesn't make sense to me. I wish there was like a true like Kelly green, like a true green in here, because I just feel like these are like tealy or like minty greens, not like green, if that makes sense. I have feelings towards this one, but it's a green palette, so that's why it's ranked this high. All right, this is the Rock Candy palette. It is number 16. It's one of Colourpop's mega palettes. This had to be on sale because I do not remember buying such a giant neutral palette, and nor would I normally do that. So I'm not quite sure when I bought this or for what reason. The only thing that saves this palette for me is this mauve row right here. I think that makes it super gorgeous. Like, I would use that row probably first before most of the other colors, rows, whatever. I did use this as a companion palette for the month of February, I think. So I did use this for a little bit, but not that much, honestly. Like, I think this is the only shade right there that you can see like some usage. I don't think I used many other colors, so I would definitely like to use this one again. All right, on to number 15. They're just about past halfway. It's the It's My Pleasure palette. This is a cute little purple palette, but I feel like it's too pink leaning for me. Like, I wish there were more cool tone purples in here. Like, there's too many pinks going on for this to be considered a purple, like a fully purple palette for me. It's still cute, I still like it, but I want more purple. On to number 14, we have Truly Madly Deeply. For someone who doesn't love neutral palettes, I sure have a lot of them, and I'm really not sure why, but this one has a couple of pressed glitters, so I feel like that adds a little something to it. And it has like some pink and a little peach. Like, I feel like it's a little bit more exciting than the average neutral palette. So, and these pressed glitters like are pretty gorgeous. So there's that. All right, number 13, we have the Nightmare Before Christmas palette. I feel like for Colourpop, this is a fairly unique color story. I really enjoy this palette, and I do love, I don't want to flash the light, but I love the neons like in the packaging. I just think that's super cute, and I think they did a pretty good job. I love the black and white stripe like on the binding as well. So I enjoy this palette a lot. Okay, I did just switch up the lighting a little. I hope that doesn't affect anything too much, but this blue, I noticed on camera, was showing up like a really weird, like dingy color that it wasn't that color, and this is like the true color. So anyway, this is number 12. This is the Blue Moon palette. I love every shade of blue that is in here. And you might say, oh, Amanda, that is white. Oh, my light just turned off. And we're back in action. Like I was saying, you might think that this is white, but I wish it would focus. It has a blue like flash to it. So pretty. Either way, I love all of these shades of blue. I think they did a really good job with this palette, and I love it. All right, so I call this one the BYOP. This was a build your own palette from Colourpop. I love the combination of like orange and brown and like purple. Sorry if you just heard that thud. I don't know what it was. Anyway, I can't take too much credit for putting these shades together because they're pretty much all that was available at the time, and they were on like super sale. But I love the way it looks. I think it's such a pretty palette, and I definitely need to use it more because I've only used it one time so far. All right, we are in the top 10. This is number 10. This is the Glow Getter palette. It is pretty much a neutral palette, but this mint green shade right here just puts it over the edge for me. I absolutely love that shade. It is so gorgeous. So I love this palette. All right, number 9, we have the Honey palette. I love this yellow palette. I've loved every look I've ever done with this palette, and this pressed glitter, this yellow pressed glitter is just like, it's so gorgeous. The only thing I could say is that I wish there was a more pastel yellow in this instead of this like almost orangey yellow. I wish there was like a pastel yellow, but other than that, I absolutely love this palette. All right, next up we have Orangey Glad. I almost just had a little catastrophe and I dropped this and 2 of the shades popped out, but I just found out that these are magnetic palettes, so that's amazing because I didn't know that. I love orange eyeshadow, and I love every single shade of orange that is in this palette. This pressed glitter is probably one of my favorite pressed glitters I've ever used. It's so stunning on. Yeah, I think this is like my perfect orange palette. I love this palette. All right, we have the So Fly palette. This is definitely more neutral leaning, but this duochrome in the center here, this is one of my favorite shades. I absolutely love this, and the little pop of pink. And this teal down here is also gorgeous. I have not gotten a chance to use this, but this center shade here I've used quite a few times, and I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, that last one was number 7. This one's number 6, so sprinkle a little magic. First of all, Tinkerbell is my favorite Disney character. And 2, green is my favorite color. So I am in love with this palette, and then mixed with the pinks, it's just like the perfect little palette. And despite the last 5 palettes that I've ranked, I actually don't prefer 9 pans. 9 pans are probably like my least grabbed, my least that I go for. Like, I always go for bigger palettes. So I'm surprised that like number 10 through number 6 have been all 9 pans. But this is one of my favorite palettes. I absolutely love, love, love this. And I love me Tinkerbell. Okay, top 5. This is the Sandstone palette. This is by far my favorite and most used neutral palette. I just think that this is such a unique color story for a neutral palette. It has such a nice, like, wide range of shades and a little bit of color. But I absolutely love this palette. So this will definitely be my highest ranked neutral palette though. Alright, number 4, we have Witching Hour from the Hocus Pocus line. I just absolutely adore these fall vibes that you get from this palette. I love the darker range of shades, the orange, the purple, and the teal. They just work so well together. And then this like pop of gold, and then the rest are like neutral shades. Like, I used this as my companion palette last October, and I got so much good use out of it. I absolutely love this palette so much. Number 3, the Limoncello palette. I just love the summery Italian vibes that I get from this palette. The mix of neutrals with a pop of blue and yellow and this like greenish yellow shimmer. I mean, yes, it's neutral as well, but I just love the Italian summery vibes that you get. And this, like, the blue and yellow to me is just like, it's so perfect for me. I love the combo of blue and yellow. Ugh, I love it. And this packaging is just like stunning. I love this. All right, we are getting to the top. This is number 2. This is the Cabana Club palette. This palette just gives me like pool party vibes. I love the color story. I do feel like it's pretty unique for Colourpop. There's nothing else that's really like that similar to it. It definitely looks pretty used, so not sorry about that. I just think, yeah, it's just like so unique to me, and I've definitely used this palette a lot more than it even looks. I use this a lot, especially in the summertime. I don't know, it just gives those vibes. Okay, my number 1 ranked Colourpop palette is Fade Into Hue. Okay, so if you couldn't guess, I totally love colors. I absolutely love rainbow palettes. Love, love, love. I love that there's like some depth to this palette. I love that there's different textures. There's some pressed glitters. There's some shimmer, regular shimmers. There's sequin shades, which are these like mattes with glitter in them. I just love it. I absolutely love this palette. I almost feel guilty rating this one so high because I've only used it one time. Don't come at me. But the color story, it just wins it for me because I love rainbows and I love all the bright colors, and there's just so many possibilities that can come out of this. I do sometimes feel the urge to potentially use like a neutral, like grab one of my neutral palettes to pair with this, but I want to normalize like wearing bright colorful eyeshadow like all the time. So that is it. That was number 1. Okay, so those were all my Colourpop palettes. Let me know your thoughts, if you agree on anything, if you disagree on anything. What is your favorite Colourpop palette? I want to know. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy eyeshadow palette ranking videos like this, as well as much more makeup content, please like my video and subscribe to follow along in this makeup journey. I plan on posting as much as I possibly can. It's probably going to be like 1 to 2 times a week. I'm just getting started. Also, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Every single handle is at mermaidhair_donut care. Okay, love you, bye.